Yesterday, we talked about visibility fears for new content creators. Today, we're going to be talking about the fear of success. Now, it's going to be the same amount of questions from yesterday. It's going to be 15 questions. I'll be answering these questions myself, and you can also feel free to answer these same questions if you're just looking for a deeper understanding to why making content is difficult for you, why it doesn't feel, why you probably just don't feel connected, or you just feel like there's a blockage, you feel stagnant. These questions will help just further dive into those details so you can get rid of them and pursue your passion for content creation. I'll put the prompt right here so you can timestamp and answer whichever question that you want. And we'll dive right into the first question. What does success mean to me? To me, success can be either big or small. Most people, of course, symbolize success as something that's grand, large, a bunch of, just a bunch of, you just accumulated a bunch of goals and achievements at once, or just, throughout your lifetime, you basically just completed all the goals that you had, majority of the goals that you had, and you continue to pursue those goals. And the results, people deem those results as purely just that's what success looks like. But in my opinion, I feel like success could look big or small. You could buy your first car after not having a car for 30 years of your life. Success could also look like having a baby after you've had multiple miscarriages. Success can look like getting rid of an old habit or an addiction that's very successful, if that's something that you've been detoxing and completely eliminating out of your life. That's something that's also successful. I feel like it could be either big or small. Success doesn't have to be always just large. It could be really just in the details. To me, just to put it in a simple form, I think success means to me just completing a chapter and just moving on to the next. You just completed that chapter of your life, however long it took. You successfully got through it. You completed it. You learned from it. You're now moving forward, and you're on to being successful in other areas and completing bigger goals or just small goals. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's even if you just deem you completing those small goals as the checkpoints on your way to success and completion of your major goal, still, I feel like you still successfully completed that task. Most people gave up, most people had to restart. You are successfully moving forward, and you have your mind, your spirit is connected, and you're going on to the exact path that you meant to. You're on the path to success. But success, I feel like it could be big or small, in my opinion. Big or small wins, it's still a fucking win. You still completed it at the end of the day. And look, people will celebrate a lot of things, just small wins. Don't overlook the small wins. I know that's something that I'm trying not to do, because like this month just alone I completed, no, this month and last month I completed just a lot of things that I really did just overlook. Like, damn, I really did just do all of that in one month. And then this month I really just did all of that this month. So acknowledging just the small wins. You successfully hit a following goal. You successfully got monetized on YouTube or on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You cleared out your closet and successfully bought a new wardrobe. It's success everywhere. Whatever goal you had that was very major to you, it could be small to somebody else. It was big to you. It doesn't fucking matter. You successfully completed it. End of chapter. End of the chapter. You're on to the next. Number 2, what fears arise when I imagine success? I think the main one that everyone could automatically think about is just the fear of failure, the fear of disappointment. that's just the major thing I think everyone has, just the fear of failure. You don't want to, especially if you're loud about the things that you're completing within your life. You're very open about it, you share it a lot. And most people, they just want to see if you actually reach where you said you was going to reach, and disappointing yourself and disappointing others, or just visibly failing in front of however many people. That is a big fear, because you really just don't want to let down. I think the most thing that makes that situation really sad is just that feeling that you let yourself down, that you fumbled. You could always rise back up, and once you rise back up, you'll always rise back up stronger, smarter. Shit, you could rise up even quicker. But I think that's the main fear a lot of people think about, is just the fear of failure, the fear of not. I mean, this could also. It's not like it's failure, but the fear of the fear of losing momentum. The fear of just losing momentum. I think that's also a big fear for a lot of people. You could start a business, you've gained a lot of attention, it's booming, and then sometimes a lot of people created businesses because it was a trend to create that business. It was a trend to create a makeup brand. It was a trend to make a clothing business. It was a trend to make whatever. And you got that quick money, because a lot of people who hopped on that bandwagon and trend just to make businesses, y'all outshined people. Like, cause some people saw making those businesses as hustles, and some people really did want to pursue those things as like a permanent career. Some of y'all that chose to do these businesses as hustles, y'all ended up outshining the people who wanted to do these things as an actual full-time career. And some of y'all did, I guess it wasn't unique enough, so a lot of y'all just had to go out of business. Some of them, some just couldn't handle that the side hustle era is just over. So some people can, yeah, I think that's because it's not like, yeah, I think just the loss of momentum. Even if you do have a full-fledged business, like if your business isn't just like a hustle, you're actually trying to pursue this thing as a full-fledged, successful, big business, and you start losing momentum and you start losing, things just start decreasing, clientele just starts decreasing, numbers just start decreasing. That's also a big fear a lot of people could definitely have. That I think everyone has that, because you're just trying to just build your. All you're trying to do is just build, and imagine the you just gotta take everything back down and start right from the bottom again. So I say the fear of failure and the fear of just losing momentum. Most people just don't want to be forgot about. Also, some people, it's like some people could be very big at one point, right? They could be big, they could be extremely popular. What they do is extremely popular. What they sell is extremely popular. And all of that attention, all of that momentum, all of that clientele decreased, and it's gone when you least expect it. That's a big fear. That's a huge fear, even for fucking billionaires. They're billionaires already. They're millionaires already. That's still a fucking fear of theirs. Just losing it. Once everyone decides that, oh, we ain't fucking with this brand, we ain't fucking with that brand. Oh, they did this, they did that, so we want to now shop somewhere else, or we're going to buy from alternative options and stuff. That's a big fear of theirs too. They don't want to lose you as a loyal customer. So they drop new items, they hire people to bring their momentum and their sales back up. That's a big fear even for billionaires. So that's definitely a fear that can arise when imagining success. 3. How could success change my relationships? For me, I know that success can definitely shock a lot of people. Even for you, success for you could shock a lot of people. Most people probably just saw you as someone who, you might have been someone who just never took yourself serious, but you always just had passion. And most people just overlooked you like, yeah, whatever. They just always say it, but they never going to do it, or they don't see you ever. They don't see behind the scenes of the details that you're working on when it comes to really trying to build a secure brand and business. And once that business and brand starts booming and it starts getting big, or it starts getting noticed, some of those relationships can fail for a lot of people who doubted you or overlooked you, for a lot of people who didn't see your vision, for a lot of people who didn't want to come on and help you support your vision. That can make or break a lot of relationships. You could lose a lot of personal relationships with family, with friends, with spouses, anybody, and you could end up building new relationships with different people. It could change based off how well you know the people that are in your circle. If you know them well and you know that once you start popping, they not going to fuck with you like that. It just is what it is. At least you already know. And you're already ready for that phase. Once it hits, you can face it and move on. It just is what it is. It can also change your relationships in a way where some people just, they want the benefits of what you got. They don't really give a fuck about anything else but reaping the benefits of it. So that could be money, that could be attention, clout, whatever. That could change your relationships as well, because you start looking at everybody just a little bit differently. Some people might smile a little harder than they used to. Some people voices might change. They might try to be sweeter all of a sudden. Success could change your relationship in different ways, okay? I know the quote is, you'll never know a person until they got money. You'll never know the people around you until you get money. Okay, and they start acting fucking weird. Or some might act supportive, but some might start acting fucking weird. They, it could change relationships drastically once you start getting successful, once you start getting big, especially when you do things that people didn't expect you to be like interested in. So that can really shock a lot of people. Like, there's no way that you're doing that. There's no way that you're doing this. When did you start that? How could, where was this? Where was I at when you was doing that? And it's like, there was no need to tell you anything. You wouldn't have understood it if I would have told you. So I had to do it just to show. I had to do it. I had to just work on it by myself. I had to work on it with either, if you got a business team, you had to work on it with your business team. They're the ones that understood you. They're the ones that's there to help you complete your vision. Those relationships in that area you might have built stronger. Some people, when they find out those things about you later, that might create a weaker relationship within you and that person. It just is what it is. You just had to get to a point where you just had to focus on completing the vision you have for yourself. And some people were just meant, I don't know your experience. I know for me, some people just got to be left out the loop. Some people just got to be left out of my loop. I'm not really trying to have nobody in my ear or in the way. I know what I like. I know what I'm doing for myself. I understand what I'm doing. If you don't get it, I'm not going to explain it to you 1,000 fucking times. Okay? It just is what it is. You could feel some type of way about it. I feel some type of way. I took my feelings and I carried them. And I still completed everything I needed to do. Some people may find that offensive. Some people may be intimidated by that. Some people may try to sabotage it. Some people may try to now compete with you. Some people may try to now distract you or try to use you. That could change. Success could change relationships in a bunch of different ways. In a bunch of different ways. 4. What responsibilities come with success? I think the responsibilities that come with success is just maintaining longevity as much as possible for as long as possible. Because if nobody else in your family really has reached that success point the way that you are now, that's a lot of responsibility. Some people you may feel like you are responsible for, like, taking care of. Maybe it's kids, old people, elders, parents, other family members. You may feel like you're the responsible one to take care of those things. Take care of bills, buy houses, cars, bail people out of jail, wherever the fuck. What responsibilities come with your success? What responsibilities do you feel like would have to come with your success? You should start planning that shit out now. Also, like, just maintaining longevity as much as possible. Maintaining longevity in your brand, maintaining longevity in your business, in your money. Accumulate as much wealth as possible. You also have to be responsible when it comes to how you're dealing with your mental health and how you're paying attention to it, how you're paying attention to your physical health, how you're just make sure you're keeping these things healthy, because you are responsible for that. You know, you're not a baby no more, so some things you do just have to get up and fucking do on your own, and just help yourself and make sure that it's actually for the good of you, and it's not anything that's going to sabotage you. It's not anything that's going to make shit shake a little. You know, you have to be very responsible, extremely responsible. Now, some people benefit from being irresponsible. If that ain't you, don't even fucking worry about being like those people. Some people do successfully benefit from being irresponsible as fuck, and they make a successful career out of that. What responsibilities you know would come with success once you complete your major goal? Okay, if you know you want to take care of your mom, your dad, grandparents, whatever, write all that shit down ahead of time, because you don't want to know who exactly you want to help out to. Okay, don't just just let everybody, just start splurging on everybody. You start balling out on everybody before yourself, before you even know that you got it for yourself for sure. Okay, I know for me, like, my mom, she was like, I forgot, I think I mentioned something about when it came to, like, having a certain career that I knew just would make a lot of money. It was a certain idea I had. I can't remember, but I remember the conversation, and she was like, yeah, she already gave me before I didn't even have the fucking money, but she was already just calling dibs on having this. I think she was like, oh yeah, and well, I think I had an idea, like a clothing idea or something like that. And she was already calling dibs on the amount of money she wanted, like, immediately. She was like, yeah, and from that I'm gonna get $100,000 off rip. I was like, well, let me make sure. Well, she was like, I'm gonna get $100,000. You gonna get me a car? You gonna get me a house on top of that too? I was like, well, I gotta make sure I got that. I gotta make sure I got that for myself first. I gotta make sure I'm stable enough to have those things for myself, and then you can get it. She was like, no, I should be able to get that stuff immediately when you get it. I'm like, me, I just saw that was just me being in a responsible mindset. Okay, if I have a house of my own, if I'm able to maintain everything in that household, okay, that means I know I'm fully secure and stable in that area. Cars, I know that I'm fully stable and secure in that area. My money, I know, is coming in at a very consistent and it's going up and up, I know that if I know that's the case, for me, if I know that's I already secured that, then of course you can get what you're asking for afterwards. But I just need to know. I just need to make sure I'm secure in that area first. And she wasn't hearing it. She was like, "No, I need that. I need that first. I don't care what you talking about. I need my 100,000. I need my house. I need my car. I don't give a fuck what you talking about." I was like, I know my responsibilities. I know that I am not trying to. Okay, I know my generation. I know the generational curses in my motherfucking family. Okay, I'm not playing with no fucking body when it comes to shit like that. I'm actually being fucking serious. Like, if once I know that I'm secure in that area, I could map out what you could get. I could map out what you could get. I could map out with anybody that I feel like deserves something. I could be responsible for that. I'm okay with being responsible for that. But I need to be responsible for myself first. I need to make sure shit is straight with me first. Because I'm the one who's fucking making the money. I'm the one who's holding it down. I'm the one who's holding the motherfucking business down. You ain't even, you wasn't here for all of that. So why wouldn't I make sure everything is in order before everyone else gets to celebrate and experience all this shit with me at the same time? Why wouldn't I make sure that shit is secure? It's my responsibility. Number 5, do I believe I deserve success? Yes, the fuck. I know I believe I deserve success because I've always had conversations about business. Okay, whether or not the people have had conversations about actually pursued businesses and stuff in that area, I was always just around people like that, discussing business ideas, visions, certain things like that. I know if they ain't take my motherfucking advice, bitch, I know I'm taking my advice. And I know I fucking deserve it because, bitch, I was helping y'all. Why wouldn't I deserve what the fuck I'm supposed to have when I was helping y'all and now I'm deciding to help myself? I, I know, I believe I also deserve it because, I don't know, for some reason, it's just, I don't know, sometimes you just feel it. Like, it's something that you just always have been gravitating towards, and you really just cannot, like, you just know it's that one thing that's just been pulling your energy, like always just pulling you towards, like, as many times you try to look that way, it's like something that's nudging you to look back that way. Like, no, keep your motherfucking head over there because that's exactly where you're meant to be. That's exactly the place that you're meant to be. That's the place that you're meant to thrive at. That's the place that you're meant to just flourish in. I believe I fucking deserve it because if I didn't, I wouldn't even have these motherfucking ideas. I wouldn't have kept going to even pursue this. Like, I feel like I deserve it. I don't know about everybody else. Everybody else is, a lot of people have a fear of that. They don't feel deserving. I know at some point I didn't feel deserving of just certain things, but right now I feel very deserving of it. I feel like now that I'm in my adulthood, I am 20 years old. I made a fucking I forgot I was 20 years old. Yeah. So I forgot that I was 20 years old. Something about me also, for years I've been like preparing for something. I don't know. I didn't know it was preparation for this, but it was like something. Anytime that I got money, like this was during high school, anytime that I got like money, I always bought like equipment for like filming and stuff like that. I got a whole like streaming, like if I end up doing streaming, because I am thinking about it, like I am thinking about doing streaming. If I end up doing streaming, it's like I bought a mic, a streaming mic, like 3 years ago, just because I was just like, well, maybe I'll need it. I I didn't know why the fuck I really felt the need to buy it, but I bought it. I was like, maybe I'll need it. Let me just buy it because this might work for me in the future. Ring lights and shit. I bought a ton of fucking ring lights just because I didn't have no vision of how I wanted to do content. I just knew for some reason I was just always led to prepare to do content. So whether or not I believe I fucking deserve it, a bitch is meant to be for me at the end of the day because it's just always something I just always gravitated towards. Whether I feel like it ain't, if you feel like it ain't for you, it doesn't fucking matter because spiritually, your spirit will always pull you back to that thing. Whether it don't give your spirit don't give a fuck about what your mind is talking about. I hope you know your spirit sometimes don't even give a fuck about what's going on in your physical body. It gives a fuck about your soul purpose and you being on the path to your soul purpose, whether you feel like you fucking deserve it or not. Sometimes when you are really deep into that belief, you won't have it for a long time, but you'll always have the urge to pursue it. And until you pursue it, you'll start feeling deserving too. You'll start feeling very deserving. Like, damn, like this is really meant for me, and I'm claiming my spot in it. So I deserve my motherfucking spot. I believe I deserve it. Fuck who? Is there any objections? I don't see none. Whether you believe it or not, spiritually, your urge will always pull you towards it, regardless. Number 6, what limiting beliefs hold me back? One of my bugs fell. I didn't really prepare to put these little bugs on here. They're cute though. At the end of the video, I'll put it back on. Anyways, number 6, what limiting beliefs hold me back? I think the belief that you don't deserve it, that's number 1. The belief that you can't have it as big as like someone else has it, kind of like it's not like you want somebody else's success in a way, but you kind of just believe that whatever you were doing isn't, like, you believe it's not really up to par in that level until it ends up being up to par in that level. Like, you could stream, you could make music, and you may feel like, okay, well, I just put that shit out there. It's not really as good as everybody else's. It's not really as good as the shit everybody else doing. And then once that shit boom, it's like, oh shit. Like, now, even though successfully you just rose to another level, spiritually, you still you have to now let go of that belief that you don't feel like you deserve, or whatever you're doing isn't really going to be that big or successful because it's not like everybody else's, or you just feel like you're that kind of person who's not going to attract that big of a crowd. If you're like a vendor or something, you go to pop-ups and stuff like that, and you're limiting the beliefs that you'll even attract even a certain amount of numbers. The product you think is cool. It's gonna help a few people here and there until 100,000 people fucking want it, and it's like, oh shit, I didn't even believe this could happen. Sometimes it'll happen, but you now have to you have to go through the process of you have to go through the process of letting go of that shit, like, spiritually, so you can actually accept it fully. Also, I feel like there's a limiting belief that there's no need to have like urgency to pursue whatever thing that you want to pursue. Like, there's not really that big of an urgency to prepare or to educate yourself on whatever it is that you're pursuing, because you could really, like, some people they may like that belief of there's an urgency to educate themselves on certain things, right? And let's say music artists, for example, they may have the belief that, I'm already close to my favorite artist, or I'm already close to being, just successful in this area. I don't really got to give a fuck about having the sense of urgency to educate myself on and prepare myself on whatever curveballs can happen. You may believe that whoever you come across is going to be the one to protect you in that area, until you come across a fuck shit contract that you now fucking regret. I just watched Victoria Monet just talk about this, that she signed a life and a half contract for $2,000 because she was just so eager to step foot in that door of the music industry. But even if she did put out music, it wouldn't be it wouldn't flourish as much because she still would just be labeled as a ghostwriter, not an actual artist. So that limit on you don't need to be that urgent into educating yourself in whatever you're pursuing, that could hold you back because you could fuck around and end up in some real fuck shit. So that belief definitely does have to get out your system, and just take the time to educate yourself on whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but you need to know what the fuck you got going on before you step into a big league of anything in your niche or anything in your business area. Number 7, what happens when I receive recognition? I got Leo placements, so I get happy as fuck when I receive recognition. Okay, I need to feel worthy. Okay, if not, then I start like doubting that I'm the shit. So, when I receive recognition, I'm very grateful, because I be downplaying a lot of things about me, and I still post, I still do what I do, just naturally, just being who I am. And sometimes it just gets to a point where I don't get no recognition or attention on whatever the fuck I do. And sometimes I just go about life like that, like, I'm just here. Like, it's nothing really too special I got going on, until people recognize it and be like, yo, you're fucking amazing. I'll be like, oh shit, like, oh yeah, I am amazing. Thanks for telling me. Like, I had to snap back into it. So when I receive recognition, it just always like reminds me, like, yeah, this is who I am, really is a purpose. Who I am and what I'm doing is bigger than me. Okay, it's bigger than what I think I am. Is bigger than my belief in that area. So when I receive recognition, it just always reminds me, like, oh yeah, like, I am who I am. This is who I'm doing it for. People love it. It helps me a lot. It boosts my mood a lot, and I guess I do shit like this. Okay, I get hype. I get excited. I want to do more of it. I also got Aries placements, so it's like I want to do more of it. I just want to keep that. It keeps me going. Like, it keeps that drive just going. You just get super excited. You just want to know what's going to happen next. Like, you just get excited for just whatever there is to come positively for you. When I receive recognition, I do not. I get excited nowadays, because usually, like, when I would post, like, let's say last year or any year before this year, I was not getting that much attention. Okay, so I just thought, well, I know I got some good shit, but it just, it is what it is. I'm gonna just let it be. I'm gonna just keep doing what I do. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna just keep doing what I do naturally. And it got to a point where I just didn't even give a fuck about, like, posting or just wanting attention in that area. But then it was like, no, I'm too good at this shit. Like, I'm getting way too good at this shit. This needs to be seen. And once it got seen and people started recognizing, I started getting good feedback from it. Automatic energy boost. Automatic. Automatic energy boost. It just is motivating. It's very motivating. Number 8, how do I react to compliments? I think I just answered that one. I react fucking amazing. I damn near be wanting to jump in the air. I damn near be wanting to jump in the air for man. I don't know, it makes me happy as shit receiving compliments, because sometimes, like, living where I live in Philly, so you really don't get too much compliments. Okay, you get a lot of fucking looks, you get a lot of stares. It rarely anybody is going to compliment you for real. So when I do get compliments, first of all, I get surprised. That's just in person, when people see me in person. Online, when I receive compliments, it just, I don't know. I be liking compliments from women. From men, I be like, I just know what. I just posted my yesterday's video. I posted pictures and I said I look like an evil me if I was an evil Marvel villain, or no, me if I was just a Marvel villain. Period. And he was like, it was a guy. And he was like, yeah, it looks like your name would be the G spot. I was like, the G spot. And in his mind, with that name, since I was green, the G would stand for green. So the green spot, but my name would be the G spot. I'm like, bro, you could have came up with anything else. Like, it's silly, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'll be liking the women compliments more. The men, I feel like it gets to a point where it's a little odd. Um, you of course, a lot of men are very respectful. When, like, a lot of people DM me and they are very respectful completely, but it's a handful. It's a handful of suspicious people. I got a couple people in my DMs talk about some hey with 2 eyes, and it's like 5 different people, and I'm like, no, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I don't know, I'm a little suspicious, but yeah, when I receive compliments, it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel, especially when it's from older people, because they're so hard to impress. From younger people and older people, but older people especially, because older people is really hard to impress. So when I receive compliments from them, automatic, it's like, oh yeah, I'm the shit. Fuck what you saying. Fuck what anybody else saying. I'm the shit, nigga. Fuck my exes. Fuck you niggas, okay? Because I'm the shit, okay? I don't know what y'all got going on. But y'all was mad I was the shit before. Nigga, you don't even know the motion I got now. You don't know the motion I got now, nigga. Fuck. The audit. Certain niggas just be saying, Anyways, when I receive compliments, it makes me motherfucking happy. And I thank you to everyone who gives me compliments, okay? Because I be needing it. Sometimes I be snapping out of myself and I be thinking, I be just doubting, like, oh, is that even cool? Is anybody gonna like this? Is anybody gonna fuck with that? Is anybody going to nitpick my little flaws or whatever? And then someone comes right after that and they give me the nicest compliment ever, like a man or a woman, and it just makes my fucking day. It always reminds me that. It always just reminds me that, like, it always reconnects me to who I am. I also feel like for the last question, I kind of answered it. I feel like for number 7, I answered it how I should have answered number 8, because recognition, I'm realizing I haven't gotten recognition yet. I'll say online, not that much of it. So I looked it up. I was like, hold on, did I answer that right? And it was like identification, knowing a face, voice, or object because, you probably saw it or just noticed it like frequently. Like my turtle tank. I haven't gotten recognition yet, but I'll say in my personal life, I think I answered that pretty well. But my life on social media, receiving recognition, I don't know. I think overall it just makes me fucking excited. Okay, it makes me feel like, oh shit, this is, I'm actually. It just snaps me back. It just snaps me back. Like, oh shit, like I'm actually. This is actually something like that's out there, and that's actually helping people, and that people actually fuck with. People are actually getting inspired by it. Like, oh shit. Oh shit, hold on. Let me fix myself back up again, okay? I was just in bed laying right there, depressed as fuck, okay? As soon as I get that, as soon as somebody hit me the fuck up on some, oh yeah, I fuck with you, I'd be like, oh yeah, let me get my ass back up. Let me get my ass back up and hit motherfucking record, get all cute and shit. Number 9, what part of me fears standing out? I think the part of me that fears standing out the most is like my emotional side, because I could be like extremely deep in my feelings and like nobody would fucking know. So I think that's a part of me that fears standing out the most, because sometimes when I express myself emotionally, little scorpion, I got Scorpio placements. Got a little scorpion right here. Um, yeah, when I express myself emotionally, some people just automatically get fucking annoyed, or their ears turn into brick walls. For some reason, how I express myself emotionally offends the person who fucking put me in that emotional state. So I think that's a part of me that fears standing out, because I just hate feel like I'm getting fucking like no one, like, when a baby is crying and everybody is like, I don't feel like dealing with that shit. Imagine everybody feeling like that at the same time, but it's you. It's like, okay, well, now I gotta, do that suffer in silence kind of thing and just hold it back, because having that part of me just be out there and not knowing how anybody's gonna give a fuck. I think that's a big fear of mine, because sometimes I really do be like questioning just a lot of things, or just I'm still learning a lot of things, just psychology wise, spiritually, how health wise, how certain things about my health affects me spiritually and mentally and emotionally. I'm still learning all of that shit. And the more I learn it, the more fucking emotional I get when I realize certain things is affecting my current life. Certain things and certain things about people are affecting me in my current life, and then expressing that emotionally just online, especially online, because it's a lot of fucking people. It's just that's definitely a big part of me that fears standing out the most, because I could put on a great, I could put all that emotional shit to the side very well, but sometimes, not all the time, I can put it to the side. I would say I could put it to the side very well, but not all the time. I can put it to the side. Sometimes I do just have to acknowledge what I'm feeling in that moment and express it. Yeah. Sometimes, like on my like Instagram or Threads or whatever, I could be reacting to like a lot of videos or giving my input or agreeing on certain topics. That's, yeah, sometimes even just emotionally acknowledging those things is like, wow, like who do I got to talk to about this shit? Like, who do I got to talk about this shit? My anger, I said this yesterday, my anger, my sadness, those parts of me standing out is like, oof, I'm not used to that. I'm used to, journaling and shit like that. But, you know, sometimes it just get to a point where the internet is your only comfort space. Sometimes your fan base is the only base that listens to you. It's the only people around you that can actually give you sensible answers or real advice. Some people, they're the only people that could tell you the truth. They're the only people that can just comfort you in that moment. But sometimes it's like, do I really want to show that part of me, or do I just want to hide it and kind of just bundle up in my emotional state and stuff like that? So that's definitely a big one for me. Number 10, what opportunities have I avoided? I feel like right now, the opportunities I feel like I'm avoiding the most is posting on multiple platforms at once. Right now, my main platform that I'm posting on is Instagram. That's the one that's flourishing the most. So I'm strictly posting on Instagram, but there are like multiple opportunities on other apps as well that I could be posting on, like Facebook or TikTok and shit like that, or just maintaining. Even on Instagram, I got two accounts. I got my personal, and then I got my YouTube clips account. So even that is like, okay, on my clips account, my professional dashboard numbers are increasing, but then on my personal account, they're decreasing. So I'm just focusing literally on just one main account when there's opportunity to possibly get monetized on multiple accounts. I think that's the main opportunity I'm avoiding right now. Well, actually, that's not even, I think that is the main opportunity I'm avoiding right now. Number 11, what would success make possible? Well, for me, I know success. What would success make possible? What would success make possible for me is the possibility, first of all, to fucking travel, the possibility to relocate and flourish in other areas that I'm not used to. Success will make it possible to actually grow the fuck up. Okay? Because I think mentally I still can operate in the sense that I'm still like 18 or 19. Like, I said this on my birthday. My stepmom, she asked me, she was like, how you feel? Like, that's your birthday. I was like, I still feel 18. I still feel like I'm just in that mind. I just still feel like I'm in that energy of an 18-year-old. I just feel like it will make it possible for me to actually evolve outside of where I'm at right now. Like, this is cool, but I just feel like energy wise, I'm outgrowing it. And I feel like having a successful career, I'll say mainly from here, that'll make it possible for me to actually know, like, that this was actually worth it, and it'll make it possible for me to know, like, this was actually meant for me. Success could also make it possible for me to just, to be honest, I mean, I think that's something only God knows for real. Because once you become successful, it's like sometimes you don't even know the possibilities that and the opportunities that you could get from like having a successful business. So what would make success possible for me? I'll have the possibility to just be who I'm meant to be. I feel like I can answer that differently, but I'm not completely sure. I feel like I'm going to stick with the answer I got now. Number 12. What expectations am I afraid of? Expectations I'm afraid of? I think for most people, the expectations that you would mostly be afraid of is expecting whatever goal you had to work a certain way, and it flips into something that it completely wasn't meant for. I think not knowing the outcome is more scary than already having the expectation. Because you have the expectation, so why would you be scared of that? I think the only thing that makes it scary is if the expectation doesn't, it does the opposite. It affects you in the opposite way. It Yeah, it affects you in the opposite way. Yeah, I think I answered that correctly. Let me know if I'm like reading that question wrong. But 13, how can I support myself through growth? By keep answering questions like these. Number 14. How can I support myself through growth? Uh, Taking a break. Definitely taking a break from social media. Right now, I'm like a social media fucking addict because, it's a lot of things that I'm used to at once. So I want to keep up with everything that I got going on. But supporting yourself through growth while, even though you're not used to attracting as many people, you're not used to, wanting to be, wanting to just keep putting more content out. You're not really used to doing that. You're not used to being consistent in that area. So now that you are, you can now support yourself by scheduling out on how to take breaks from that. Like Kai, he said from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., he said he takes a break that whole motherfucking time, no social media. That mentally fucking helps him. And I applaud him for that, because for me that would be like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the rest of the day I'll be on social media. But as you're growing on social media, as you're growing within your business, whatever, within your brand, whatever, you can support yourself by actually focusing on yourself as well. Just have a balance of paying attention to your needs the same way that you're chronically paying attention to what other people are saying. Pay attention to what your body is saying. Pay attention to how spiritually you're feeling. Pay attention to how your head is feeling. Just support yourself in that area too. And if you need to answer questions like these, like me, yeah, you can also do this as well. Support yourself in that area when you just need to deeper understand certain things that you're feeling, or a deeper understanding on the things that you're thinking. Yeah. 14. What would my future self say? What would my future self say to me right now? What would my future self say to me right now? I would say don't let anybody alter the way you feel and think about yourself. Okay? Because I could absorb a lot of conflict or a lot of criticism easily. I could absorb that shit very easily when it comes to any critiques, any judgments. I could absorb all of that negative shit very easily, okay? So, even when, like, in my personal life and on social media, I could absorb that shit super fucking easily, and it could really affect my mood. So I would think my future self would say, don't give a fuck about that shit. And if you're going to give a fuck, make some money giving a fuck. Make some money from it. Don't just sit there and fucking pout and be in your feelings, go on certain fucking rants or whatever that ain't motherfucking paying you, you know, if you're gonna do it, look good while doing it, for sure, look good while doing it. But my future self would definitely say, like, don't let none of that negative shit affect you, because I know I could easily absorb negative fucking comments super easily. And I know that's one thing, like, when I think of my future self, she don't give a fuck about none of that shit. She turned all of that pain into fucking power, okay? She don't give a fuck about none of those negative comments that anybody got to say about her, her appearance, her lifestyle, her man. She don't give a fuck what nobody say, okay? Because she knows she holding shit the fuck down. Whatever you got to say ain't affecting her, okay? And if she do let it affect her, she going to get some money out of it. Shit, I don't know. Shit, I mean, you know, turn that pain into power. You know, just transfer all of that negativity, transmute all of that shit into something that works for her. Okay, you want to be a motherfucking hater? Yeah, we gonna do something. We gonna do something with your ass. Okay, we you know what? You want to be a motherfucking hater? Let's have a motherfucking 10-hour sit down, proving all you niggas wrong. Let's just be petty as fuck. You know, let's just all gather here, okay? A lot of people who love me will love that, because I just know it's gonna be a ton of people who's gonna be right there at the front line, ready for whoever wants smoke. Okay, they gonna be right there defending my name and backing me the fuck up. Okay, and once I come through and be like, oh, hold the fuck up, what's all this commotion y'all got going on? Oh, hold on, let me go handle you niggas real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's how my future self operates. Yeah, like, you know what? Hold on. Everybody chill out. What's all that shit you was saying? Well, now I'm gonna really piss you the fuck off. Yeah. You know, she don't, instead of getting depressed and then you start that, like Chloe, right? Chloe Bailey, her album, I think it was her first album when she debuted her single for her debuted her single Have Mercy. For her album, the listening meeting or whatever they have when when everyone a part of the label has to listen to the album, she said she got one critique that affected her whole mood and how she thought about her album, and she went back and she changed a lot of shit about her album because of that one critique. That's, my future self would tell me not to give a fuck about, because currently that shit could affect me too. Okay, right? Because that's something it's kind of like you already just, that anxiety, you feel me? So that one critique affected her whole mood on how she felt. She felt confident walking in, she felt embarrassed walking out. That's not what my future self is. That's not how my future self operates. No, that's what my future self would say. Like, don't let nobody's critique affect the way you feel about anything about yourself. Okay? That's how my future self operates. That's what she would say. Okay, if anybody do still continuously want some motherfucking smoke, I know y'all gonna back me the fuck up until I gotta come through and step my motherfucking foot down. Feel me? Yeah. Some like big dog shit. I'm dead ass though. Like, I'm dead ass serious. I want to laugh, but I'm dead ass serious. Number 15, the last question. What success am I ready to welcome? What success Am I ready to welcome? I am ready to welcome. I'm ready to accept. I am ready to receive. All right. I mean, I would say the recognition. I'm ready to receive the motherfucking recognition. Okay. What else? What success am I ready to? Actually, I also have a vision board, so I'm definitely ready to see all the things on my vision board to really come to life. I'll say that, yeah. So the things on my vision board, I'm ready to see all those things fucking come to fuck. I told you about my Philly accent. Fruition. I'm ready to see all the things on my vision board to come to fruition. I think I said it right. I'm just ready for all that shit to come. Feel me? Everything I put on my vision board, all that shit going. Feel me? All that shit gonna be there. I'm when it's supposed to be. I'm gonna be ready for that shit every time. I'm ready for all that shit to come through. Feel me? That's what I'm ready for. Yeah, that's the shit I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to accept that. Yeah. I would. Yeah, that's my answer. Yeah. All the things on my vision board I got. Feel me? I also got a block board. Okay, so the things that block me from pursuing the things on my vision board, I'm ready for all that shit on my block board to get the fuck going. And I'm ready to just see all the things on my vision board to come to fruition. However you pronounce that properly. Yeah. And that is all the questions on the fear of success prompt. Now, like I said, feel free to answer all of these questions in the comments. Timestamp whatever question hit you the most. Let me know if you fucked with some of my answers. Let me know if you agree with some of the answers that I had. If you want me to further explain certain answers that I gave. And that's it. That's all. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. In the video without acknowledging the beauty of the makeup today. Give nature. I know you see the trees in the back. Got the butterflies. My stepmom gave this to me for my birthday. My aunt gave me this dress. And I'm gonna put the inspo picture of this right. I'm gonna put it on either one of these sides. But yeah, cause I wanted to wear this dress. I can't stand up. I'm not gonna stand up because so I might flash y'all. But yeah. But I wanted a kind of nature look with this dress. I got the praying mantis in between my titties. I don't know what these bugs are, but I got a little spider right here. I got the moon earrings right here. So this is the sun. This is the moon. And then this is supposed to be like vines or just mystical grass or whatever. Just wanted to incorporate the green with the green eyebrow. I was going to do yellow eyelashes, but yesterday my eyelash fucked up. It was like I looked like I had a lazy eye. Hopefully I don't look like I got a lazy eye again. But I just had to put on fluffier lashes because for some reason I keep looking like I got a lazy eye when I put on those lashes. But yeah. And then this side, just green with the gold. I think, I don't know, just let me know what's been your favorite look of mine so far. I really fuck with this, not gonna lie, but yesterday, I did my big one with that outfit yesterday. It was just something about the fur coat. It really did just give, yeah, I came back on that timing. Okay, because my last video before the one I did yesterday, I ain't post in 3 weeks. Yes, because I was going through a lot of health and mental issues. So I ain't post in 3 weeks. So yesterday was my pop out again video. And there was just something about the fur coat that just gave, yeah. Even though I left, I ain't never leave. Feel me? Okay, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.